Welcome to Blind Level Tech. I'm Jonathan Price.
I'm Evan Starnes.
And together, we're bringing you news, tech, and information about blind technologies.
Being blind doesn't mean you have to stop living.
We're going to show you just how possible it is to live the life you want. All right, here we go. Jonathan Price here with Blind Level Tech, and you are listening to part 2 of our interview with Caserney and Bigboi Singh of the Blind Money Gang, and it has been an absolute pleasure working with these two guys, and I'm so excited to be diving into part 2. If you haven't listened to part 1, go check it out. You'll learn all about Blind Money Gang, what they are, who they are, what they stand for, and just some of the really cool things that they've been able to accomplish in the blind community. I mean, an entire group of people who are producing music, from mixing engineers to artists to singers to, I mean, you name it. These people are all blind or have some vision impairment of some kind. So go back and check out part 1. I wanted to also make everybody aware of our hike that's coming up on August 12th at Chautauqua Park. We're going to meet at our AINC headquarters and then head up from there. And we're actually going to have 2 little different things that happen. So one group will go a little earlier and they'll do a hike all the way up to the arches. And then another group will do an easier hike if they want to, just about halfway up and then circle back around. So it'll be a fun hike. It'll be easy. It'll have skill level challenges for everybody who can do some of the more challenging things. And then if you just want to get out and just show up, you're more than welcome to do that. Cheer us all on. It'll be an awesome time. So, all right, without further ado, we're going to dive into the second part of our interview with BMG, Caserney and Bigboi Singh. Here we go. So tell me, guys, I'm going to come to you first. Tell me a little bit about the technological advantages, or I guess, how do I say that? Tell me a little bit about the tech that goes into the studio and how important things like screen readers and just how important things like that are in your studio setups.
Oh, man, it's like I think it was one of the greatest things, that was created for the blind and visually impaired community. I wasn't always blind, but being a blind guy now, like, we can't really do much, with computers without it, right? And for me personally, I got the formula. I know exactly what I need, and I go to what I need and what I want, and we just let it ride from there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I just want to say really quick, because this is something I've been passionate about, and it's amazing to finally hear my thoughts echoed. Editing audio and monitoring levels by ear instead of looking at lights and VU meters, because it seems like every producer that I've spoken to and nothing against people that do this. I mean, you do you, man, but everybody just looks at the waveform or they look for peaks and stuff, just like you said. And I can't do that. And you can hear when stuff is clipping, it makes it sounds very distinctive, but
exactly.
I'm glad to hear that you guys also, it sounds like you guys just edit all, and EQ it all by ear, and there's no visuals. Like, I mean, these interfaces in here, I did these by ear. So I'm just so glad to hear my thoughts echoed.
Well, for me, so I'm the only sightling in this group. And so what's fun for me is even from before I came onto AIN, I knew that my eyes were lying to me in my mixes. I could see the meters and I could see the movement. I could see the changes. But anytime, like, guys, you're a EQ guy, so you'll understand this real well. When you've got the peak of an EQ, say you're adjusting that 5,000 to 7,000 hertz range, and you can see something happening, and maybe the Q is a little sharp, or you're adjusting the decibel, whatever you're doing in that Q mix. Your eyes are telling you that something is going on, and your ears are tricking you into thinking that you're hearing that change. And so I had to start just toggling the power on and off for different plugins to make sure what I was hearing was actually what I wanted to hear. So I appreciate you bringing that, just like Evan said, because that is a very, very critical skill
when it
for
comes
the music
to
industry.
like
People
mixing, EQing. Even if you're making a podcast, it's critical. I mean,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when you go to, I didn't, Bigboi went to college for it. And I think a lot of times, that education can kind of get you in that zone, But when you have to kind of utilize your ears, you kind of learn. And you're right. It's been times where, I'm like, all right, I need more highs in there. And I've been in studios, and I'm like, all right, put more highs on it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. And then he's like, oh, I didn't even put the highs up yet. I'm like, oh, that's what I imagined it to be, So I didn't even put them up yet. So yeah, your eyes can definitely play tricks on you, man. Like, especially when you've been in front of that record playing it, 100 times, trying to get it right. So it is definitely important, man, to use your ears in music. I mean, that's how people experience it through their ears, So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, Bigboi, I want to ask you, Caserney was telling me about some of the business ventures that you do. You've got kind of this business mindset. How has that helped you in developing BMG and kind of where you guys are going next?
It helped out a lot, man. Teaching a lot of the people on the label the same thing. Like, hey, man, I trust them not to leak music because I tell them, hey, when y'all leak music, everybody on the label has to have an ASCAP or a BMI. Yeah. If they don't have that, I tell them, you know what? There is no need for us to work. You have to have your ASCAP. You're not taking yourself seriously if you don't do that. So I tell them every time y'all leak music, y'all investing in yourself. So every time you leak music, you just giving away money. You losing out on money. You giving people your music. So I say, when you invest in yourself, you want other people to invest in you too.
Right. So
y'all can't be leaking music all the time. So I try to get them to understand some of this stuff too, but it's just, I don't know, just getting these guys, because some of these guys, some of them, they just happen to do music and they don't understand the business part of it. Hey, we got to make money at this. This is what we, do this for. We got to make a living at it.
Well, just look at what happened with Taylor Swift and Spotify. I mean, that's a perfect case in point for a lot of that stuff. And for those of you who are musicians and artists, ASCAP is the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. So if you are trying to put your music out there and you don't want it to get ripped off, you better go through that. You better get your stuff registered through there or BMI. Or there's I think there's a couple others out there, but those are the two really big players. And so you've got to get yourself registered, protect yourself, protect our community, do all that stuff because that's important.
Exactly, it is. And before we go too far, I wanted to tell y'all a story real quick when y'all was talking about, how far technology came along.
Yeah.
Jay Breezy is one of the hottest producers, blind producers in the country right now. I don't even think this was 10 years ago. We brought Native Instruments machine.
Yep.
And he could not use it, and I gave it to him because he was good at what he do. I was okay. I messed around with it, but Jay Breezy is like a whole nother breed when it comes to doing beats. He did music. He produced all Blind Fury, just about all Blind Fury projects.
Wow.
Even the country song that Blind Fury came out with. So he was like, man, Bigboi, he said, I tried. He said, I can't. I can't. So fast forward to down about 5 or 6 years down the line, we linked up again. Man, this dude was, I ain't never seen nobody use a machine that good like he did, because they made it accessible.
Wow. That's awesome. What made it accessible?
They put programs, they put scripts and stuff on there. So you can use it through Logic Pro or you can use it through Pro Tools.
Nice.
Logic Pro is really good, man. I mean, it says everything from every one snap. It tells you everything through Logic Pro.
Just make sure you have the undo function set to like the max instead of 1. That's awful.
Exactly.
Right. Man, I want to play with that now.
It's so funny,
man. But Jay Breezy, he actually gonna be him, and he got a group called the Visionaries, and they're gonna be at we're gonna do a seminar, a music industry seminar next year.
Oh, cool.
For the blind in Vegas.
Nice.
In September. It's called Music Models and Media.
Okay.
And basically we want to teach blind people about the industry, what to do and how to do it, and let them know you could make it in that industry. You got to work 10 times harder, but it could happen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Man, I love all of that stuff like so much. And Native Instruments has done a really good job, with Machine and Contact, their keyboards and all that kind of stuff. So I'm so glad that they have taken that step to make things accessible. And, I'm a huge Logic user. I've used Pro Tools, but Logic does everything that I need. And I am in no way, shape, or form a hip hop or R&B producer. My skills come in more like film scores, classical music, that kind of stuff, and pop and country, that kind of stuff. But, everybody has their own genre. And I love that everybody will speak the language of music because it's something we're all passionate about. And I love getting you guys on. Evan, you got anything else for these guys?
No, but I'm glad you mentioned the Native Instruments because they've been a company for, ever. You hear about, you see their, I think they've made plugins and various MIDI interfaces and stuff. And as somebody who is also looking to get a good MIDI control service, I'm glad to know those are accessible. I had a really good question now, and it totally just escaped me, and I'm a little annoyed now. Oh, here we go. This is a really good one, and this might be for anybody that's an aspiring producer like myself that wants to, I want to try and get into trip hop stuff like Grammatic and instrumental stuff, but when you're coming up with a song, like an idea for a song, do you, this might just be dependent on the producer, but do you have any tips as far as actually getting the motivation to, produce a song and put something together, especially, when you're trying to also learn Logic at the same time and, your stuff is breaking on you, you're having to figure all this stuff out, you're getting frustrated. Do you guys have any tips or words of inspiration?
Man, I would say Bigboi did mention it earlier, man. You have to get the idea down. It'll be times where I'm outside in the public and, I'll get a piano running. I say, oh, you know what?
That sounds
I'm
good.
a voice record that,
Yeah.
I'm a voice record. You did. My tip is you gotta understand the power of capturing, capturing that creativity. Because, it might be obstacles and, so many reasons not to do it. And that would be the exact definition of, failure.
Yeah.
The total opposite
definitely.
of failure is by any means necessary, we're going to capture this creative idea. And no matter how long the process takes for it to build and develop, at least the idea is captured. At least you have it, at least you bring it from either that place of creativity to something tangible that you can build upon. Yep. So, just by any means, just try to capture these moments because these things are really gifts that are given to us that probably really needs to come through the individual that it comes through.
Yeah.
And that kind of gets on a more deeper level of creativity because I'm a writer as well. It's you never know what that melody or that song is going to do for somebody that is designed to be released for, so that's the importance of really doing what it takes, taking the time, going through the process and really just, making that thing happen.
Indeed.
You know what works for me, man? Actually, the song we just put out is called Hit It.
Gotcha.
I was thinking, I was like, there was a song that I really liked. And I was like, you know what? If I would have did this beat, this how I would have had it. So once again, I went to the super producer, Jay Breeze. I said, Breezy, look, do this away. You know what I'm saying? And the beat came out how I wanted it because I thought about it. This how I would have made that beat. So we got our inspiration from this one song, but we put our flavor on it.
Yeah. And that happens a lot. I mean, I actually was watching a video of how the Halo theme, if you haven't heard that, it's epic, was influenced by a Beatles song, which happened to be Yesterday by the Beatles, which completely different songs, but yet managed to create something completely amazing and mysterious. So that's cool to hear, man.
Well, I'm gonna go to Bigboi first as my closing question. What do you see? What are your hopes for BMG going forward, and what do you guys got coming up next? I know you just had your event in Houston, and you have that seminar coming up. What's on the horizon for BMG?
Man, BMG, we hoping to continue to get more blind artists out there. We want to do all genre. Eventually, we want to do a rock band that's all blind. We want to do a country band that's all blind. And just continue to grow and to show the world that just because you're blind don't mean you can't do it. You know, and that's the goal for me. That's what I always vision, and show the industry that, you know, we can do it too. Just give us a chance.
Man, eventually you guys are going to have an orchestra too.
Yeah.
Imagine that, like an orchestra of all blind. That would be freaking epic.
That would be so cool.
Exactly.
All right, guys, what about you? What are you seeing for BMG, and what's next for you?
Man, like as far as the magic of, you know, media and just really setting this history, man, I want when, you know, I got 5 children. When they get old and when they my age, man, I want them to be able to go back to, you know, some BMG classics, man, and it's stamped and sealed and deal. You know, we left a great history that people could, you know, learn from, and great music that they could rock to for times and decades beyond now. So, you know, that's just really my goal, man, really making that impact and leaving that staple in the world, man, and just giving them good music, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for coming onto the show today. This has honestly been a really unique and probably one of our most unique episodes yet. I say yet because, you know, we got plenty more. But dude, I'd personally like to thank you two for coming on. From Jonathan and myself, you guys are incredible. And I mean, you've given me some really good tips that I'm going to walk away with. And I'm sure plenty of people are going to walk away enlightened with you guys' knowledge, especially knowing that the native instrument stuff is accessible. Oh my gosh.
Yes, exactly. And once again, before we get out of here, if they want to know more, we are, like I said, we're having that music seminar next year, September the 5th through the 8th. They can go to blindmoneygang.com and register there. Or they can email us at info@blindmoneygang.com if they want to know more about the event, because they can learn more, you know, and we would love to have y'all there as well too.
Yeah, we'll try to make it out there for sure.
Maybe
we'll appreciate it.
I got buddies that would be down too.
That'd be awesome. If there are any artists out there who want to try to get onto the BMG label, how would they go about doing that? I'm not sure which one of that it's for, but go.
They can reach us at the same information. Send us some of your music. You can reach out to us on Facebook, anywhere. Just type in Blind Money Gang and get your music to us. You know, we always look at anything Blind Money Gang. You can find us and get your music to us, you know. And if you're good enough, we'll find you.
Nice.
That was smooth. That's why that Bigboi the smooth.
Oh man, dude, it's been I have treasured this episode. And we didn't even get into the other company that you're with, guys. So we'll have to get you back on and talk about, was it the EMI
ETIB.
ETIB. Even though I'm
blind. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh
sir.
man, we don't talk about that. So we're gonna have you guys back on so that we can talk about that, because there are some crazy things that you guys are doing with that. So yeah, we'll definitely have you guys back on. But what would you guys like? Bigboi, I'm gonna come to you first. What do you guys want our listeners to take away from this episode?
Just take away the knowledge that we give, man. And as far as music goes, there's so many doors that's open, so much of technology out there that's for us. That's one thing they can take away. And if they're artists, don't let your blindness stop you from doing what you want to do. Come to BMG, baby. We waiting for y'all over here.
Let's go.
All right.
What about you, Cass?
Man, I would say, man, when it comes to music, we don't see black. We see color. We see expression, right?
That's
so
right.
Music is a form of vision. It helps us to see and paint these pictures. So, follow that vision, man. Follow that light, and let it inspire somebody else.
For sure. Wonderful. Anything from you, Evan?
Honestly, no. This is honest. I feel completely enlightened though, and maybe I'll actually try and get back into music production. I know some people though that could actually totally get into BMG, and I'm gonna have to send them your way if they haven't already done so. And
Awesome. All right. Well, for the entire staff at AINC, for Evan Starnes, I'm Jonathan Price. Do not stop making music. Music is all around us. It's all encompassing. It's how we communicate, even with we're blind. We don't
it's
have
a language.
It's language. So go create some music. Share with us some of your beats, some of your music. We'd love to hear it. Drop us some comments. Share this episode with everybody that you can think of, whether it be blind or sighted. And just have an amazing week. Don't forget to plug in your devices. We will talk to you later.
Thank you for listening.